With so many new series popping up every day, it gets harder and harder to keep up with new shows, much less the all-time classics.
You'll have to speak up, I'm wearing a towel.
With TV Club 10, we point you toward the 10 episodes that best represent a TV series. This is TV Club 10, Roseanne. Language Lessons, Season 1, Episode 4. A skirmish kicks up between Dan and his sister-in-law, Jackie. Roseanne, still very much the domestic goddess she was originally conceived as, manages to smooth everything over, but Language Lessons is essential for its portrayal of the marriage of Dan and Roseanne.
Now you two are worse than all three of the kids put together. You're driving me nuts. You've got to get it together.
The Little Sister, Season 2, Episode 2. The Little Sister fleshes out the relationship between Roseanne and Jackie and creates a subtle mirror image of them in Becky and Darlene. The push-pull between both pairs would continue throughout the series and facilitate many more humorous yet heartfelt stories along the way.
You apologize to me for never being on my side.
I do not have nothing to apologize for.
Chicken Hearts, Season 2, Episode 13. It's fast food employee Roseanne versus her 17-year-old manager in this episode. After trying to suck up to the little weasel, she gets axed, leading to a wonderful conclusion where the family bands together to humiliate their mother's tormentor more effectively than he could ever humiliate her.
Brian, would you like fries with that?
An Officer and a Gentleman, Season 2, Episode 15. Barr only appears in 2 scenes this episode, with the rest acting as a wonderful showcase for Jackie, who takes over Roseanne's duties in her absence, and Dan, whose grudging respect for his sister-in-law's domestic aptitude gives way to actual respect as their antagonistic relationship begins to soften.
I mean, you're smart, you're fun, you're nice looking.
Aww. You mean that in a good way?
Yes, I do.
Trick or Treat, Season 3, Episode 7. Roseanne dresses as a man for Halloween, then gets stranded at a neighborhood bar, the Lobo, where she mingles with the ball-scratching, Y-chromosome-possessing clientele. It's not exactly subtle social commentary, but then again, Roseanne was never subtle when it came to its feminist statements.
You are a quality woman, and you got to keep telling yourself that and stop judging yourself according to what men think.
What's your name?
Darlene Fades to Black, Season 4, Episode 4. Darlene Fades to Black does an admirable job portraying the widening gap between Dan and Darlene, his former sports buddy, who now spends all of her time moping on the couch. Sarah Gilbert's growth is clear in this episode, where she manages to be aloof, vulnerable, and darkly hilarious all at the same time.
So, what is it, Darlene? Is it school?
It's school, it's my friends, it's the way I look. It's you, it's Dad, it's everything.
Terms of Estrangement, Part 2. Season 5, Episode 2. The second half of a season-opening 2-parter, Part 2 finds Becky returning home after she eloped with boyfriend Mark in Part 1. Becky's surprise marriage at 17 was one of the better twists Roseanne pulled off, and marked a major shift in the series as the family unit began to expand outside the residence of the Connor home.
I'm married.
Yeah, me too. Isn't it fun?
Looking for loans in all the wrong places. Season 5, Episode 6. Roseanne butters up her mom for a loan to open her restaurant, and Jackie gnashes and wails at the prospect of having her mom as a business partner.
Well, it's an awful lot of money. What happened to the $10,000 I gave you last week? Oh, cripes, Mom. We blew that on candy and records.
A Stash from the Past, Season 6, Episode 4. John Goodman and Laurie Metcalf are at their goofiest as this episode makes its way toward a refreshingly reasonable anti-drug message. Pot seems a lot less fun the older you get, and the more responsibilities you take on.
Now that David fears you, he'll never do that again.
And he respects me, Dan.
Only one thing wrong. This is your pot, Roseanne.
Lies My Father Told Me, Season 6, Episode 21. Dan gets mad when Roseanne and Darlene react to his mom being admitted to a mental institution by cracking jokes to cope. This episode is a dramatic showcase for Goodman, as he's forced to reevaluate his parents' troubled marriage through the lens of his mom's mental illness.
No, it wasn't his fault, Dan, and it wasn't her fault. And it's not your fault either.
I can't take this.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to take it with you.